Sessions and Lessons Unscripted.
Let's go.
And now your hosts, Joel and Gloria Rosario.
Hey, you're back. It's me, Joel. Joel Rosario, host of Sessions and Lessons Unscripted, and back by popular demand. To my left, Gloria Rosario, everybody.
Hello, everybody. How's it going?
I hope everybody's doing great. I'm doing okay, I guess. I can't complain. How about you?
I can complain, but I
Well,
won't.
yeah, no one will listen, right?
It'll be a long episode, but yes, I am good. Can't
That is
complain.
very true. I mean, you can always find something to complain about, right?
Definitely.
So what does that say about us or anybody in general?
I'm a complainer.
Everybody out there, you know you be complaining too. But
Adulting is hard.
adulting is hard. Very hard. Guys, thanks for tuning in again. As always, we appreciate you. This week we were talking about a subject that's kind of important. Well, not kind of, it is important. And we were talking about mental health, especially men's mental health and health in general, but especially mental health. I don't know when you guys are listening to this podcast in particular, but June is Men's Mental Health Month, which I believe everybody should kind of stop and kind of think about that and consider it. Consider the people in your life that are male and how they're doing, their mental state, their health in general. Something that people don't really think about, right? Because men are supposed to be like the rugged, tough, Teflon type, of the sexes, I guess.
Yeah, I think men are overlooked a lot, and I'm not just saying that like just to say it. I really do think that we have high expectation on men and how they're supposed to behave and how they're supposed to act.
We kind of touched on that on the little cultural episode, right? Like,
Yeah.
especially for the males, it's like you don't cry, you don't show emotion, you don't show any weakness at all. I mean, it's just that's how it's supposed to be, right?
Yeah, rugged macho man.
Yeah, rugged macho man, just like me. But in all seriousness, it's something that people don't think about. I mean, life is hard for everyone, like male, female, whatever, and everyone's mental state takes a hit here and there. And like I said, it's something people don't. Physical health, everyone always thinks about physical health, right? But no one really thinks about mental health. I know in me personally, speaking as a male, yeah, I've suffered, still suffer from certain mental issues, mental health issues. I don't know if some of you out there, if you're new, I've kind of touched on this before, but I've been diagnosed with mixed depression and anxiety disorder. There are other issues that I suffer from as well. Honestly, I've never gotten officially diagnosed. This is something that I need to work on. And absolutely, if you guys, anyone listening to this, if you need some sort of help, reach out to somebody. You can't always do it by yourself. You can try to do it by yourself and help yourself, but you got to reach out. You got to look for the proper resources.
Yeah, and while we're on the topic, I'd like to just repeat, we are not professionals in any way, shape, or form.
This is true.
We are not counselors. We're not certified in any type of mental health. That's basically on you to be responsible for your own mental health.
Yeah, thank you for mentioning that because, and we don't mind kind of giving our opinions and, whatever advice or help that we think's helpful. but we're not,
Professionals.
we're not professionals. Everyone knows that I'm not professional at anything.
We might be certified a little crazy or nuts.
Yeah, we're that kind of certifiable, but
Legally, for legal reasons, yes, we are not
no.
professionals.
So I mean, I don't want to say take what we say with a grain of salt, but I mean, it's ultimately up to you guys to search out the help and all of that stuff. We're just normal people. We're normal people like you guys that suffer from,
depression,
depression,
anxiety,
the everyday stress. I mean, like
all the fun stuff.
all the fun stuff that everyone, has to suffer through. But yeah, absolutely. If you need to find some sort of professional help, and sometimes, it is a chemical thing, it is a physical thing. Like, I know for myself, I had to get prescribed medication for some of my issues. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. If it helps you out, fine. But the bottom line is to search for help. Just a little side note, and this is kind of something I kind of wanted to talk about too. I don't know if anyone out there has seen this, and Gloria, you could tell me if you've seen it because you're on TikTok as much as I am. Mm-hmm. There's certain videos on there of women mocking Men's Health Month. Have you seen those?
Yeah,
they were very cringy to me.
To me, this is the thing that just kind of feeds into the whole men are supposed to be, these robots who don't have emotions. Mm-hmm. To me, that's very immature. I've seen some. I tend to scroll past those videos. They annoy me because just because you're a man doesn't mean that you don't feel certain things or that you're supposed to feel. And I'm a female. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm speaking in general terms. Men are human. They have feelings just as much as females have feelings, and it's not what is it? A feminist thing or any of that. Right. That's not my perspective and not my point of view on that.
Well, I mean, it's not even really a man. I mean, it's not a man versus woman thing per se, right? No, it's definitely not.
It's a mental thing.
It's a mental health thing,
all
right?
of us, from the time that we are born and old enough to comprehend and connect ideas to the time that we're like 90 years old, if some of us get to that age, we're lucky. We're going to go through emotions, whether you're a male or a female or, however you identify yourself as. Mm. Mentally, everybody goes through things, and then
everyone does.
It doesn't make you less of a person or less of a man if you're crying because, something isn't going in your favor or something isn't working out. You're a human with emotions. That's how we're built, know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I mean, it's just not very respectful, and it's not. I mean, we're like you said, Gloria. We're all human beings, right? We all suffer from things and stuff. There's no one's suffering or human suffering should be mocked. It's like it's not. If anything, it's not. I mean, it's absolutely not helping anything.
No, and again, to me, it just pins men against women and women against men, and this whole way of like being this macho and feeding into this I'm probably gonna say this wrong, but machismo.
Machismo, yeah.
Yes, feeding into the machismo. When a female stubs her foot on a Lego or on a table, they're going to react to it just the same way that a man is going to react to it.
Yes.
And again, it's because our brains are built to, try to process emotions.
That's your human reaction.
It's a human reaction. Yeah. And, I'm not going to say who, but I recently did have a conversation with somebody, and they were talking about, not being comfortable around other people who are expressing emotions.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's a thing, right?
Yeah, that's a thing for me. Like, it's different because you're my husband, and
well, are you talking about like, okay, for example, like me, if I was talking to someone, right, and then they started to cry, or let's say they're they're sharing something with me, right?
Right.
And they begin to cry.
I panic.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm asking. Like, is that
Right.
what you're talking about? Because I've gotten better
But it
with
was
that.
a
I
male.
know.
It was a male to female type of thing, where
Yeah,
the
but
male.
then I don't know. But maybe I don't think it's necessarily rude, but it's like you want to comfort them, but you don't know how to do it. It's kind of like I don't know. Your brain gets confused. I guess I don't know if anybody out there wants to kind of if they've gone through the same kind of thing where you have a coworker that like bears their soul to you,
Right.
and then they start crying, and it's like,
They're
do
there.
I pat you on the shoulder? Do I give you a hug? I don't.
No, but I guess the point that I was trying to make is that sometimes when somebody is going through something, it's hard, whether you're male or female or however you're identifying yourself at the moment, is bearing their soul, and we're not equipped to kind of always respond the way that we're supposed to respond, if that makes sense.
I think I know what you're saying, but then do you think it's kind of our job to know what to do in those situations, or no?
No.
It's something that's kind of like unpredictable,
It's
right?
unpredictable. You know, if somebody is going through an emotional outburst and I happen to be the person in the room to, be there when they're having an emotional outburst, for the first couple of seconds, like, I panic. And that's just me being honest, because I'm not good with my emotions.
Do you
and I'm
think
not,
that's kind of normal for people? Because
yeah.
yeah,
Well, I mean, there's people that are huggers out there that all of a sudden,
yeah,
we all know
had
that
people
person
like that,
in
yeah.
the group who, is a hugger and is automatically going to run and hug the other person.
Mm-hmm.
But me personally, I've had conversations with, male friends or, people that I had been dating at the moment, and they open up, and it's difficult for me as a female to know how to, how would I say it, to soothe? Am I soothing someone when they're having an emotional... Consoling.
Yeah.
I don't know how to console a man. Like, if that makes sense. Because females were touchy-feely. If I see my sister...
I don't think there's anything wrong with
No,
like,
not at all. But I'm
hugging.
saying that I don't know how to approach that. So I'm
yeah.
uncomfortable at the moment.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You
It
see
could
what I'm
get
saying?
kind of yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when it's a male and female.
Type.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
No,
at all.
there's nothing wrong with
It's
giving
just
someone
that-
a hug or anything.
No, I guess the point that I'm trying to make is that when the roles are reversed, we don't know, or some people don't know how to react to it, because, men are supposed to be strong and, have leadership roles and just be the leaders and, whatnot.
Right.
So for me, it's weird. I don't know how to like approach the situation because it's a man.
Yeah.
And we're not, as a society, we're not, I guess, programmed to deal with that situation.
I think bottom line is if someone's kind of confiding in you and kind of reaching out to you for some sort of consolation or advice or something like that, just be a decent human and listen.
Right.
Be there for them.
And that's what I was going to say. It's not always listening and giving advice. Sometimes
they just want to cry.
Sometimes they just want somebody to listen to what they're going through, or listen to what they're saying, or, whatever they're experiencing in that moment. And that's fine. But you kind of can't get upset or, feel a certain type of way if the other person doesn't react how you're expecting them to react, because emotional outbursts and, stress like that is kind of a personal thing, if that makes sense.
it does.
So when you're doing it out in the open, like, I don't know how to approach it. Like, do I hug the person? Do I give you a high five? And I'm not being weird about it or funny, but it's an honest reaction to it.
Yeah, I completely get that. But yeah, I mean, it's a society thing.
Right.
It's I mean, we kind of touched on the cultural thing as well, as far as the attitude against men and their emotions and mental state.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the message is often that, you know, hey, you're not supposed to cry, you're not supposed to complain about stuff, you're just supposed to deal, and then, I mean, that's it. You're supposed to be the strong one.
Right. And when you're going through something, and I'm saying this like as your partner, as your wife, when you're going through something, it's so different for me hearing you or having a conversation with you because you're my husband.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know you like the back of my hand.
Yeah.
But when it's a stranger, it's kind of a little bit different because I've been in those situations where I don't know how to like approach it.
Well, I think with your spouse or a significant
It's
other,
different.
it's because you're more connected,
Right.
emotionally especially.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know that what we were just talking about the societal thing about men having to be the strong ones, no crying, no showing emotions. I mean, that's one of the really damaging things about that is,
It's ridiculous in my opinion.
yeah, but it also keeps men quiet. I mean, how many men like
Suffer in silence.
it's
Yeah.
exactly, and that's like the worst. Like, I mean, look at people that all of a sudden, you know, you find out they unalive themselves, and it's like,
Well, the list is big.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
know,
and
think
you
of
just-
all the musicians who
Yeah, and
have
you're like-
in the last couple of years.
right, and then you're like, you would have never known
No.
that something was wrong.
Look at Chester from Lincoln Park.
Yeah, Chester Bennington, exactly.
Right. You
Just
know,
one
nobody
day
knew.
they announced
right.
it.
Nobody knew that he was going through depression and had, you know.
Anthony Bourdain.
Right.
Who else? I mean, there's a
And
few
there's
of
a
them.
huge. I mean, even we were even talking about Robin Williams.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
exactly.
these are all people who suffered mentally in
silence.
silence. And whether you're a male or a female, silence can be deadly.
Yes, very.
You know, if you don't speak up, people don't know that you're going through anything, and they're thinking that you're okay. So if
See,
you're
and
not
then-
speaking up as
and
a
then
man,
There's a word for that, right? The functional. Well, I know there's functional depression.
right?
Where, and I think I'm guilty of that, where people ask how I'm doing, especially in the past. I was really bad with this, where people ask how you are, and on the outside, I always people that know me know that I'm already a clown, but yeah, exactly. But in all seriousness, I've always kind of compared myself to a clown, as weird as that sounds, because on the outside, I'm goofy and smiling and laughing and all this other stuff. But on the inside, I'm just sad. And it's like, I've always saw myself like that. And a lot of people, a lot of men especially, that's kind of the outside appearance does not match the inside. And people don't think about that.
No, and when it comes, and again, I'm not a man. I don't identify as one. I have no, you know, clue. But in the mental state for men, when they are at that point where things get so bad and they've been holding things in for so long, I think that it's not good in the sense that, excuse me, they're like volcanoes. You know,
Yeah, that's a
I've
good way
seen
to
that.
put
I've
it.
seen it so many different times in my brothers or in different men or in friends.
That's a
To
good
where
analogy. That's a good
they're
analogy.
bottling everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they had a bad day at work, put it down. They got into a fight with their kid. Did something happen to my mic?
No, you're good.
Okay. You went through something with your spouse, your girlfriend, significant other. You bottle that in, and before you know it, all the stress and all the emotions that you bottle in come out at the wrong time, and
That's a
maybe
very good
maybe
point.
towards the wrong person.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so important to try to communicate how you're feeling. you know, if you don't have anybody to communicate with, there's other ways of dealing with stress and, you know, emotional stuff.
Right.
So it's important that you speak up.
Yes, absolutely. And just a few facts about men's mental health. The unaliving is a leading cause of death for men in the United States. And it said that men are almost 4 times more likely to pass away by that in that way than women are. So it's higher for men. And then they say only 1 in 4 men actually seek professional help for their issues.
And that's a crazy statistic.
Isn't it?
If you think about it, when you put in the population and the statistic of it, it's crazy that, what, 1 in 4?
1 in 4 men only.
That is crazy
Yeah.
to me.
And then, of course, you were kind of touching on it, how you take that bottled up, you know, depression, anxiety, whatever, and then you start using drugs, alcohol to deal with all that, you know, all those issues.
And not to mention, if you're bottling up all that anger and all that stress and depression, you can have a stroke, you can have a heart attack.
Oh, the mental will absolutely.
Right. All of
physical,
that
yeah.
stuff builds up. And eventually it's going to affect other parts and other areas of your body and health.
Right.
You know, and a lot of times, because men are supposed to be strong and, you know, the leaders or whatever, they don't take care of themselves in that aspect because they're depressed. They don't go to the doctor. They don't get their, you know, their bodies checked. And your heart can only take so much. Your emotions can only take so much, you know. So it's very important.
Yes, very. I know for myself, like I mentioned before, I was like that, right? I was like that volcano where the stuff just bubbled inside, and then eventually it would pour out in weird ways. And like I've stated before, I don't really smoke or drink or anything, but like I'm a big stress eater, so that affected that for sure affected my health, right? Because right now, you know, way overweight. I like let myself go pretty bad.
But you're working on it, though. Don't talk down about yourself.
No.
You're working on it.
Not at all. I am working on it for sure. It's something I've been working on for a while.
And you're doing great, by the way.
Oh, I'm trying. People are saying it looks like it. I don't see it. But,
I see it.
Well, I do feel it in my clothes a little bit, I guess.
No, and just how you say that, you see it in me, but I don't see it in myself. It's vice versa. I see it.
Speaking of, that's another issue that I suffer from, and I don't know if anyone else out there does. I have severe body dysmorphia. So, for me personally, I don't see myself as other people see me, right? So if I look in the mirror at myself, I don't see, you know, Joel the way everyone else does.
Right.
And like it's weird because if someone is lucky enough to get a picture of the elusive Joel Rosario, and I get to see that picture, then I'm just like, ugh, like who is that? You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm not a fan of having pictures taken. Even when I was younger, I didn't like it. So. And then when we got married, we had to take a ton of pictures
Dun, dun, dun.
and pay a lot of money for them.
Don't even get me started on the wedding pictures.
Yeah, weddings are expensive, people. But it was worth it.
Let's stay on task.
So, yeah, for myself, mixed depression, anxiety disorder, and I admit, guys out there, I should be getting better with dealing with that. I believe I need to get more professional help as far as that goes. I know I don't even know if I want to say overcome a lot of the stuff, but I certainly have been working through things and realizing, you know, things do get better and a lot of things in this life are just temporary, right? Like, it's not, you know, certain situations aren't going to be forever. You know what I mean? Things
Right.
will change.
Yeah.
So, I mean, don't get me wrong. I still get depressed. I still have anxiety. I still get my panic attacks, although they are once in a blue moon. So it's not very often, but I still do get them. But I'm working on it. And I think I'm very fortunate to have people in my life, especially Gloria, that support me. And when she sees that something's off, she asks and tries to help me. So I'm very fortunate and grateful for that.
Let's be realistic. I probably had some of that stress and depression.
Well, since you want to go there,
Let's be honest. I could take it.
no, I mean, I'm sure I caused her a bunch of stress. It's not even
Like you would not believe.
you love me. You know it. I'm a saint.
There was something that kind of struck me that you said when you were talking about going through emotional, times. And do you ever find yourself trying to figure out strategies on how to get you back onto course?
Absolutely.
If that makes, am I making sense in that question?
Yeah,
Okay.
you're making sense. And yes, I do. I mean, there's times where you kind of like, I can't do this. I need to get my, stuff together. What am I going to do to get this stuff together? So, yeah, I mean, you're kind of figuring out your exit strategy, how to get out of the funk, right?
Right.
And like I said, there's always a way. That's why I find it really unfortunate with people that get so desperate that they don't see any way out of it. Like, the only solution is to end it all. And I understand it. Don't get me wrong. And I've had those thoughts before, right? Like, especially when I was younger, like, just if I end it all, I don't got to worry about it anymore. And there's a way out of it. There is. It doesn't seem like it, but there is. So I feel very, when I hear when somebody does that, or that's how they passed away or whatever, it's very sad, because it's like the desperation was so heavy and that they couldn't see it.
Right. And a lot of the times when people, and I'm speaking from experience, I know this is like a men's health topic, but it goes both ways. I never understood why people decided to take that route, or what would possess someone to inflict that on other people in your surroundings.
Right.
You leave parents behind, kids, all
and
that.
it doesn't only affect you. I mean,
No.
it affects everyone.
And I remember when I was at that point where I was contemplating that. And I never understood why until I went through it. Because it's so easy to judge and be thinking,
Yeah, you don't know what the other person.
you don't know, oh, that's so selfish, or, oh, how can you? But unless you've been that deep, dark, desolate, like desperation of depression, you don't really understand why or how, unless you've been in that position and you've picked yourself up and moved on. We don't realize whether man, woman, we don't realize the pain that something like that causes,
Right. It's a ripple effect.
Right,
Like if you were to throw a pebble into a pond,
right.
it just ripples and ripples and ripples. It doesn't just, it affects everyone. So I mean,
Definitely.
yeah. But I would say if you have a male person in your life, husband, boyfriend, uncle, father, whoever, son, kind of take a look at, see how they're doing, how their mental state, and a couple signs you can look for. I mean, there are signs. Obviously, if you see someone and they're depressed, but if they always seem like angry or irritated, they always withdraw. They don't want to hang out. They become kind of standoffish. Sometimes, like we kind of mentioned, the drugs and alcohol thing, they start kind of drinking more and, kind of being more kind of shady about that kind of stuff, like hiding, like especially when people get into drug use and stuff like that. If you have a significant other, spouse or whatever, and you notice that they're having trouble sleeping and they're tossing and turning a lot, and they're waking up exhausted because they didn't get any sleep, or even if they just emotionally just shut down, like they're just over it. I mean, there's a lot of little signs, and I'm not saying, every time, and then we're all humans, right? Some days are better
Right.
than others. I mean, there's days where I don't want to be bothered. I'm not feeling it, whatever. We're all humans, so it's like whatever. But I mean, if you do notice things that are kind of out of character, keep that in mind. Maybe there's something more going on.
And all you have to do is just ask, how you
That-
doing?
That's all you have to do.
What's up?
Yeah, and then start a conversation.
Let's go get coffee,
Yeah. Starbucks,
dinner.
sushi.
No, but just check on your people, whether they're male, female, friends, boyfriends, cousins, sister, whatever. Check in on your people because you never know what someone is going through, especially if they're not speaking up. Sometimes it makes it easier for the other friend who's, on the outside
Yeah.
to be like, "Hey, how you feeling?" And that's all it takes to kind of sometimes pull somebody out.
Exactly. And I mean, all it takes is you opening up the door, and sometimes that's what kind of starts the healing, or the steps to better themselves.
Right.
But you also have to stand up for yourself, right? You got to want to get your mental state right and stay out of that funk and all of that stuff. So not only should you support your people and extend a helping hand out, but you should also stand up for yourself. Know that things aren't permanent. Things get better, and just all in all, just kind of seeing just checking your mental state. You know what I mean?
And sometimes you need to evaluate the people that you are surrounding yourself with.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because if you have friends who are constantly drinking and doing, other
Absolutely.
substances, that adds to your depression, whether
Yep.
you realize it or not. In the moment, you're having a good time because you're, quote unquote, loosening up or, just relaxing or whatever.
That is a very good point about watch your surroundings
Right.
too.
And it has your surroundings, whether you want to admit it or not, has a lot to do with your mental state. So if you're trying to better yourself and, feel better and find different ways of distracting yourself, doing substances or drinking alcohol or
I mean, that's not going to fix anything.
it's going to make things worse.
Yes.
And again, speaking from experience, you have to change your surroundings in order to get better.
That is very true. Very, very true. I mean, you know what though? I will, and that's a kind of I guess it kind of counters that point. But do you think sometimes you can't really change your surroundings. You got to change yourself more than that. Like sometimes you get into situations where you can't really change your surroundings, right? Or am I wrong about that? Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh, I know what you're saying, but there's always some sort of cut that you can make. I'm not saying, if you're living at home with your parents and your parents are toxic people and
Just, I guess, remove yourself from that situation.
but it's difficult for some people and I understand that,
Yeah.
but there's different outlets that you can, use to limit your time
Right.
with certain people, And I think that a lot of the times if you're stuck and you feel stuck, sometimes, and this is going to sound bad, sometimes your family and your friends are the ones holding you back from
Are the worst ones.
they're the worst. It's your own people sometimes.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, it's just how it is.
And it's hard, and I understand because I've had male friends that go through that, that had alcoholic parents, drug addict parents, and I get it. But sometimes you have to be the one to take control and change your situation.
Yeah, you gotta be the one.
Because, and I'll say this again, and this works for anything, whether you're having financial issues, mental issues, any type of issue. You just can't ask for help and then put your hands up and expect things to change. Because sometimes we have to do the footwork. We have to be the ones to make the change.
You gotta put the work in.
You got to put the work in.
Yeah, you have to.
Again, it's not help me and then putting your hands up because that's not being productive. You have to be productive in your own health.
That's very true.
You have to be your own advocate for your own health. You have to be the one to be, the one setting that what is it called?
Foundation.
That foundation, that sand, that line in the sand, and just have enough guts. I know that sounds kind of harsh, but sometimes you need guts to lift yourself up.
Sure.
Because again, if you're just help,
Yeah, you can't just be.
it's not going to work like that.
All right, so you guys, just keep in mind, check in on the people, especially the men in your life, even if they say they're fine, because like we said, some people can hide it. And then make sure you make space for, start up a conversation with them, and with no judgments at all. Even if you have to kind of let them know, hey, let it all out. I'm not gonna judge you, whatever. Just
Don't be a dick about it.
yeah, don't be a jerk.
Don't be a jerk about it. It's not helping someone, male or female, when they're reaching out. And
Yeah, you just need to shut it down.
you need
and
to shut up and listen.
yeah, exactly. Like,
It's just that simple.
yep.
Mental
So-
health affects everybody from little kids to 300-year-old people, and everything in between.
Yeah, so I mean, you gotta just listen. What's the new saying now? We listen, we don't judge.
Yeah, we listen and we don't judge.
That's exactly what we need to do. And then, I mean, if you have, with technology and everything nowadays, there's help everywhere. You can go on Google. You can, it's out there. You can search even on your TikTok, instead of watching stupid cat videos. You can.
Guilty.
Yeah, guilty. Especially now with the new cat, we're just turning into cat people.
Oh God.
Yeah, exactly. And here I am, I didn't like cats. Stupid cat. Yeah, but share. Even if, say, they're talking to you and you're like, hey, let's go on Google real quick, and everyone's got a phone on them, right? Like, you got the
Right.
internet in your hand.
And we also have a few resources on our website.
Yeah,
if
there's
you go to
some-
the drop-down menu, there is a suicide help assistant or suicide help assistance. It's basically the same thing, right?
Yeah, we have all the resources on there, but remember that asking for help, there's nothing wrong with that at all. There's no weakness in it.
Nope.
If anything, it's a strength because you're standing up and like, I'm gonna help myself.
Be your own advocate. I say that all
Exactly.
the time.
So, if you're a dude that's struggling or you know somebody that is, just know we're all human. It's we all go through that kind of stuff. But not only using June as mental health month as kind of a conversation starter, but like I said, just in general, just keep that in mind. So yeah, just check on your the males in your family, make sure everything's cool, and just keep working on yourselves. Right, Gloria?
Absolutely. Do the work.
Yeah, but that's very key. I mean, you have to do the work. So I know it's hard, and sometimes it's like, just like I said, there's days where it's like almost, you think like it's impossible, but it is possible. So that's it for the men's mental health talk. What else, Gloria?
I'm kind of like, huh?
You're kind of spacing out over there.
No, I'm sorry. My pen thing.
Oh,
flew.
your pen fell apart.
Yeah. I was like, damn.
Well, at least the cat's not in here to bat it around. So, on a lighter note,
Yes?
So, our little cat chronicles.
Cat Chronicles.
So our new addition ended up going to the doctor today. Everything's a-okay.
I feel like we're starting our zoo. I
It's crazy.
I was having a conversation with my mom today, and I mentioned like, oh, I have to go. I'm gonna leave in a little bit because I gotta take my mini zoo to the to the vet. And my mom's like, what? I was like, remember the cat? And she's like, oh yeah. She's like, you guys have how many animals now? It's like, oh no, it's just down to 2 now, Mom.
It's only the 2.
There's
but
not 7 of them anymore. There's 2.
Man, and kittens are like, they're crazy.
Yes.
They're just bouncing around everywhere, and they're learning how to jump still and stuff like that. It's like, but she's a good kitty. I think.
I think other than that,
So far.
it's been pretty quiet around here. Nothing new, nothing bad.
No.
I mean, there's stuff going on all the time, but
Well, there is stuff
yeah,
going on behind the
life.
scenes, but
Life.
we're like with anything, we're dealing with it. I mean,
One day at a time.
one day at a time.
One
That's
cup
very
of
good.
tea
So
at a time. 1 cup of coffee at a time. Just
one
breathe.
Snickers bar at a time.
we're trying to avoid that, dear.
Yeah, I know. Actually, we're doing more of our healthier probiotic yogurt and what else? Cheese instead of
I have all sorts of crap in the fridge.
nuts, berries.
We're
like,
gonna start eating twigs soon.
yeah, pretty soon we're gonna start eating rocks. All right, you guys. Thank you for listening. Please remember, check on your loved ones, and it's especially the males, but I mean females as well. Just check on your fellow person,
Right.
your family members,
Mental health affects everybody.
everyone,
Yes.
everyone, every age, every sex, everything. So just keep that in mind. So, guys, thank you for listening. We do appreciate you. Don't forget to visit the website, sessionsandlessonsunscripted.com. And don't forget to visit us on the socials, TikTok, Instagram, and whatever other things are out there.
We're on all major platforms.
Yeah, you can find us pretty much anywhere. You can find us even on YouTube if you wanted to. Mainly on there is just like the podcast, so but we're on there. And then any contributions, questions, comments, the email is sessionsandlessonsmail@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. And like I said, if you guys engage on any of the socials or the email, we'll talk to you.
We'll get to it.
No, we won't get to it. We will drop whatever we're doing and we will respond to you. especially Gloria. Gloria, that's your job.
That's my job. I thought, let me get this out there. My job is to show up and just talk. Like,
Okay.
I'm kidding.
Drop the mic and walk out the room.
Mic drop.
Mic drop.
Yep.
All right, guys. Once again, thank you so much. Please spread the word. Let people know that we're here. And we will see you on the next episode. Yes, Gloria?
That's it. We're done. All right. See you guys later. Bye.
Bye-bye.